Hi guys, my name is Sharma and today I'll be teaching you how to make a bouncing polymer ball. So the first things you're going to need is some warm water, and it's really important that it's warm. It doesn't have to be in a cup, it can be anywhere, but it has to be warm. And then for the first step you need the borax. And that's it, some food coloring if you want to color it. So you're going to start off by taking 2 tablespoons of warm water. And then you're going to put in 1 cup. You're just using 1 cup right now. The other cup can be set aside. Then just wipe off the water on your napkin so it doesn't get all into your borax. Just take half a teaspoon of borax. So, about that much. Just put it in. It's important not to go over on this because too much borax can make your ball bounce a lot less. And if you want to add some food coloring, just pick one of your colors and put it in. It's totally optional, won't affect anything. But if you want it to be blue, then it can be blue. So you're just gonna mix it. And my solution now has gotten really blue. I'm just gonna mix it some more to make sure the borax is properly dissolved before moving on to the next step. So that's pretty good. Now we're gonna move on to some glue. So we're gonna take the second cup and we're gonna take some glue. We're going to screw open the cap and just take your other spoon. 1 tablespoon should be the whole spoon. That's it. And put some of the solution in now. Only half of it, half of a spoon of solution. So that's about it. Just put that in. And now it's very important that you do not stir this next step. You're supposed to let the chemicals just sit there on their own and sort of mix on their own without mixing. So just put your spoon off to the side. And taking that spoon, again, wipe it off with the napkin so you don't get glue all over your next step. And that will be the cornstarch. So you're going to take your cornstarch, and it says 1 tablespoon. So you're going to take 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Be careful not to go over on this either, because that wouldn't be very good. And again, just let it sit for about 10 to 15 seconds so it can act on its own. Okay, about 10 to 15 seconds have passed. So I'm just gonna mix this around a little, see what we have. And once it clumps together and it's too hard to keep mixing, just take it off. It's gonna be really sticky and messy. Let's kind of roll it together and try to get it together. A lot of the pieces might fall off, which is really important to have a napkin here. That's why I have this. So these next few steps are going to be trial and error, basically, because if your ball is a little too sticky, that means you put too much glue, and you have to even it out by putting more cornstarch in. And if your ball is too dry and it's not really binding together, that means you put too much cornstarch and you have to put some more glue in. So just by doing that, your hands can be a little messy, but you can always wash them off later. It's really important to note that you should not touch your face at all when you're doing this, because these chemicals, like all chemicals, can irritate your eyes or your nose, and they're not good. You also can't really put any of this in your mouth, so don't put any of it in your mouth. Not the food coloring, the cornstarch, the borax, definitely no, and of course not the glue. So that's just a little bit information you probably already know, but I have to say it. So this is a pretty good ball, you're rolling it, and as you can see, you just have to it'll do that. Got a little bit in the borax, that's fine. But it's gonna bounce, like I said, trial and error. And as you can see, it's a nice pretty blue. I made another ball yesterday, and that's a darker blue. And then I made a ball the day before yesterday, and I made that just white, no coloring at all. And that's it, you have your ball. It could be any color, it doesn't have to be blue, it could be black, brown, pink, all of these colors. You can decide how much food coloring you want to put in it, or you could just not put any and just have a white ball like this one. It should be bouncing. If it's not, there's something wrong with the amount of cornstarch, borax or glue you're putting in. And to fix that, just like I said, experiment around a little. If it's sticky, put some more cornstarch, but not too much, because too much would make it not bind, which would make you put more glue, and you would just be doing that over and over. So here's your ball. So the science behind this is in acids and bases. It depends on your pH level, because a pH that's under 7 would be acidic, versus a pH that's over 7 would be basic. 7 is a neutral pH, like cornstarch. And pH is basically just like the balance of your chemicals, the amount of chemicals, sort of that stuff. Water is neutral. Cornstarch, like I just showed you, was neutral. That means it has a pH of 7. Borax, on the other hand, is slightly acidic. It's a weak acid, and that means it has a pH of like 6.5. It's close to neutral, but it's not very acidic. So the cornstarch and the borax mix together because of that, because the cornstarch is neutral. Well, the borax is slightly acidic, so that creates sort of a binding component, which creates your ball, and it allows it to bounce. So that's it. Thank you guys. There'll be another video next month about another fun experiment. This week we started off pretty slow, pretty easy, and hopefully we could get things on a higher level next time. Bye.